the arc of Manu and Priya starts with Kadali and ends with Kadali from the first part and the second part. Uh, I was just blown away. Like, there are so many setups in side A that we do not realize, but only after we watch side B, we realize that all of these were setups for uh, these arcs to get completed. Uh, and for me, the most beautiful part was I knew from the trailer cut that blue and red are the themes, but after I saw side B, I went and saw side A, and there is like in the sense of image, there is complete tonal shift on what clothes they are wearing. There are all of them are wearing very light shades clothes. The tonality is very light, and
True.
on contrast, everyone is wearing dark shade clothes. In the same way, the streets are cleaner, the houses are cleaner, the paintings are very clear and very light inside A. On contrast, side B has very the hotels are very bland. Everywhere there is on road, everywhere there is dirt. In a playground also, you see at some corner there is garbage around. uh, the walls are also very like grayish. You also make it a point that when a photo is hang around that, the black ashes are
The
there.
suit.
So
Yeah.
saying that the wall hasn't been painted for like maybe 10 years or something, and they have not been dusted as well. So you make it a point. So I think in last podcast also I said, so that at some point life gives you a big jolt. When we take a big shock in life, the perspective of a person changes. And for Manu, it is the ending where he's innocent, he's very hopeful on the entire world by the end of Side A. And the color palette, the production design, all of that is very like it reflects his mood. And just after he comes out of jail in Side B, everything changes from his hairstyle to having garbage on streets, on a bridge that is a foot-over bridge. It is reflected everywhere, and I think it is like you were very, or your production design team, specific instructions were given where his worldview is like that is what I felt, and that is so beautiful to like you see different worlds. So that is why I started saying that there is side A to life and side B to life, because after that big of a jolt to your entire life, I think every you become bitter as a person at some point. I think, I mean, this is a very bland statement, I think, but most of the old people are very bitter, very sour. I think maybe that one of the reasons is because they have seen a lot of life, lot of ups and downs. Uh, yeah, it felt very wonderful when I realized that Side A was all of this was planned while Side A was being shot and edited, and how the music is treated, how the edit is treated, and I understood all of that when I saw Side B, and the difference in tonality, the difference in approach towards the entire movie. So I was blown away seeing all of this.
No, the thing is, see, I'm glad these details are being picked up. But what happens is that you know the viewer consumes the film in one go, right? So it seems like everything is sort of magically come together, and
Right.
sometimes, um, I mean, there's a huge amount of vision that is in play for sure, but a lot of things are a consequence of being in pursuit of that vision. So let me explain. It's like this, right? Like, for example, you were talking about there's a school scene, and in the background you can see like a garbage, sort of a situation. Now, when I went and spotted that location, we saw a lot of schools. The reason why I liked that school is because my cinematographer had liked another school which was slightly cleaner, but it also had elements of dirtiness and clumsiness. But this location sort of just felt correct. But I didn't choose it for the garbage. I didn't even know I'm going to be exposing that side. But the thing is that there is like a certain, uh, like a 10 commandments sort of a situation happening inside you with regard to the vision of the story. So in every decision that you sort of have to take, it goes through that process where it's like, is it, is it matching with the core philosophy of the film, is it matching with the core idea of the film? And because I get to shoot the film over, like over 6 7 months, happy accidents happen, and you're also allowed, you also have the luxury of time to carry that vision forward, constantly revise on that vision and try and look at the edit and say, okay, maybe this is going a little far away from the vision, how do I pull it back? So it is the thing is, you need to constantly, at least the way I approached it, one thing I realized from very early on, and from my first film, is that as like the person who is sort of leading the way, and deciding which way to go, I need to be
Correct.
constantly, you know in that zone. Like, I need to have, complete attachment to that vision. Um and subsequently it passes on, and before you know it, and when you work with really smart and intelligent and extremely creative collaborators, uh, they will also sort of tune into that vision. They will also tune into things that are part of that 10 commandments. You will want, they will ask for some dirt, they won't accept something clean. And it sort of
Right.
just, it sort of becomes like this whole discipline for the film, like a certain grammar. None of this is planned, right? This part of it is not planned. So it's like
Right.
you take care of all the details with great concentration, and a certain sort of subconscious discipline seeps into the entire process. And because if you were to ask me, how did you do this, was it like a very planned thing, I would say, sure, it was planned, extremely planned, very very, strong idea. But when I see the film and when I hear people say these things, I'm like, wait, how did all of this come together? Like, it's a little difficult for me to figure out myself. But this is it, this is what I'm saying is exactly how it has happened. So, it's like every single decision you take, you are reaching to that part of the film. It's like the film has, in my head, it is like, it is at paused at 45 minutes. I know the scene is going to come after something else. So I'm like, okay, is it fitting into the way the film is, the way the locations, for example, is it too out of place? Does it feel, are we hitting the right sort of notes? So it somehow seems to, come together. And it's only possible when you have a kick-ass team, I think.
So at some point, all of these decisions are happening at some subconscious level because you have internalized the entire story,
Yeah.
right?
Not all the decisions, like all the major decisions are conscious. All the minor ones become subconscious as a consequence of getting the major decisions right.